What's up guys, Austin from Billetworkz here. Today I'm going to show you how to install one of our shift boot retainers, which helps shift boot sag and any other issues with your shift boot. I'm going to show you with a variety of our shift knobs, so let's get right into it. So now this install is very similar for many different vehicles. I'm going to show you here today in our 2024 Type R. So first step is we got to remove our shift knob, pop the boot retainer down, the factory one, just loosen up the knob. Other vehicles, you just grab the knob and just spin it off. So now I can remove the trim so that I can get to the bottom side of the shift boot, which then I can remove this factory boot retainer here. So now as you can see here, this factory boot retainer is held on just by a zip tie. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut that. I'm gonna slide this back over the shifter, and we'll take our Billetworkz boot retainer here. I'll thread it the whole way down. So now we do have our shift knob adapters here that will allow you to run the shift knobs at different heights with the boot retainer. I'm just going to start by using the long adapter here just to show you what that looks like with our different shapes. So now I'm just going to snug this up with a wrench. Our boot retainers just take a 17mm wrench. And then you can see here with our sphere shape and any other shape, there's a little bit of a gap here between the boot retainer and the shift knob. That kind of gives you a nice spot to get your fingers in. I'll show you another couple shapes here quick. In my opinion, the longer insert with the boot retainer looks best with the sphere. Otherwise, I like to go with the short insert for all the other shapes. So we'll go ahead and throw that one on here. So now one of my favorite shapes here is the fusion. You can see it gives a nice clean look for the boot retainer. So now if you purchase one of our shift knobs with an engraving on top, of course you want to make sure the engraving is straight when you install it. You can see here, it's over 180 degrees off. Let's take my 17mm wrench. So I'm going to kind of spin it until the knob is aligned. I'm going to hold the knob still. I'm going to tighten the boot retainer to the knob. So that's still good and tight. That's the process if you do have an engraving. So now most vehicles, you can just remove the boot from the trim without having to also remove the trim, but this will make it easier now for me to take my zip tie. I'm actually going to utilize those wrench flats that were on the boot retainer. That's where I'm going to put the head of the zip tie. So I'll tighten that up good. I'm going to cut away the excess. See, I think that looks good. Now we can reattach the boot to the trim again. Now I can snap the trim back into place, and I'll reinstall the shift knob. So there you go. Now you can see that the boot retainer gives a really nice clean look. We chose the red boot retainer here. We of course have different color options. So shop our website. If you have any questions, shoot us an email and we'll help you out.